More rain overnight isn't helping the situation in Fort Washington. That's where part of the road has been cracking and slipping away. Dozens of people are being kept away from their homes with no word on when they can return. Maryland Bureau Chief Brad Bell is live from this neighborhood. Brad, what's this mean for the residents and homeowners this evening?
Well, they're waiting to find out exactly what it does mean. They don't know when they're going to be able to come home. Now, we're giving you a different vantage point than what you've seen before. We're on top of the hill that's been sliding down. They call it slope failure. Well, we're at the top of the slope that's failed. And you can see what the concern is with this house that's behind me right back here on the top of the ridge. I want to walk over and see really just how precarious, show you how precarious this spot is. When you look down, you can see that massive root ball. That's where the hill slipped down. You can see the road down that way. You see a piece of equipment going by. That whole area has slipped down probably 4 feet, and that's why people are getting out of here. Piscataway Hills resident Brad Barty came back to grab a couple things. He says he'll stay out of his house until he's told it's okay to move home.
Well, I evacuated last night with my family. I have 3 kids.
Earl Donaldson left even though he's just outside the evacuation zone. He has no utilities.
You miss water.
They and 26 others have left their neighborhood in the hands of utility workers and scientists trying to figure out why 1,500 linear feet of hillside is moving downhill and what to do about it. State geologist Richard Ort says the slope is failing because the house and road are built on a kind of soil called Marlboro clay.
It doesn't drain, it stays wet, and it's extremely slippery.
Right here is visible proof that this hillside is still moving. Right here in the middle of Piscataway Drive. Yesterday, there was just a crack, but now, overnight, this side of the road has dropped about 3 more inches. Residents say it's not a new phenomenon,
But this past 2 weeks has been really noticeable.
The challenge now, how to stop this force of nature. While the geologists and engineers work on a fix, there is no telling how long the community will be under a mandatory evacuation order. Miles Cullen doesn't know if he'll ever get back. His house is one of 5 built on top of that slippery slope.
We're really looking forward to the geologists. Hopefully they get their opportunity to do what they need to do, and then we're just on hold until then.
So at this point, there is no long-term plan. They're still trying to figure out how they're going to shore up this hill. In the short term, what they're going to try to do is stabilize Piscataway Drive enough so that they can restore utilities on that roadway down there so that the 22 households that live down that way will be able to resume their normal lives. So a lot of work yet to be done here. Now, we're standing on this hillside. We should tell you, this was not a landslide that happened quickly. This is a very slow movement of earth, like we showed you down there on the road. Looked like about 3 inches happened overnight. In Fort Washington, Brad Bell, ABC 7 News.